Look, I'm doing this when I'm a little bit stoned. I did hang out with a girl, and yeah, we smoked a bit, and yeah, I'm gonna do it anyway. So the Russell murders, 9th of July, 1996. So basically, the girls had been at school. The mum went to pick them up from a swimming gala because they had, you know, obviously, been swimming. They had wet towels and all that stuff. And the mum met them, and they walked back along some country lanes, specifically Cherry Garden Lane. This in Kent, okay, posh part of town. The mum was a doctor of geology. The father was a GP. So, we're talking about people who have a bit of money here. But, they're upper class. And the kids are posh too. But anyhow, they've been to the swing gala and they're walking back. And what happened was obviously constructed, from the survivor testimony of Josie, who did survive, and eyewitness evidence. Basically, Cherry Garden Lane, this little lane, it's like, I don't know, I think it's like a 25-minute walk from the swimming pool back down through the fields, back to their house, whatever. I may be wrong with the timings there, but either way, a red Ford appears and a dude gets out and he orders them. He says, "Get the fuck into that clearing." And they have to go down into the the little bit of the woods, the clearing, and he ties them up. He uses shoelaces to tie them up. And Josie, who's a little bit older, she's older than Megan. I think Josie might be like 11, something like that. I could be wrong there. But at least she's old enough that she can run. And she runs. And she gets clobbered with a hammer. She gets bashed, as the Australians say. Gets hit with a hammer on the left-hand side of her head. And she goes down. And she's tied up. And anyway, they're tied up and they're beaten to death by this absolute scumbag. Who the hell has done this to them? It's a mystery. Who the hell would do that? Why on earth would you do that? Unless you're just a twisted psychopath who gets pleasure from beating people in the head. But anyhow, so that's what happened. And so that was about like 3:30, maybe 4:30, whatever the hell. I don't know. It was after school, My daughter phones me about 3:30 when she finishes school. I guess they're ever at a swing gala. Maybe it goes on for an hour or two. Maybe it's like more like 5. I don't know. It was mid-afternoon. Anyway, the dad is a GP, as I said. So the dad comes home and he's like, "Where's my wife? Where are my kids?" And come about like 8, 9 o'clock, he's like, "Damn, this is not right." And so he starts phoning around. And they go looking for the kids. He phones 999. They go looking and, ultimately they're discovered. And they're all taken. They're all taken to the local hospital. It's in Kent. I don't know the hospital they went to. But they thought they were all dead. And in actual fact, Josie, miraculously, they literally got her into hospital assuming she was dead. And someone's like, "Hey, she's got a pulse." And miraculously, they saved her. And thank God for that. Thank you, God. She was alive and she's doing really well today. As far as I know. But anyway, but the question was that who the hell would do such an evil thing? Who would attack them? They quickly eliminated the husband because he was working as a GP and he wasn't there during the day. And some idiots have said, "Oh, it's the husband," because Josie said the dude that attacked us was about the same height as my dad. Yeah, it's about the same height as her dad. And apparently they read into that her dad murdered, the wife and the daughter. Absolute crap. No, he's innocent. But anyhow, So what happened was that it went on for like 6 months. I don't have the time frame. Maybe it was 6 months, maybe it's a year. I don't even know. But they put out a Crime Watch appeal. And like, who the hell is like a knife wielding, hammer wielding, psychopath? Who the hell is homicidal in Kent? And it came back that, hey, there was a psychologist who's, sadly, his name is unknown. I'd love to expose him because he's a scumbag, but I'd like to expose him, but I don't know his name. But the psychologist, or the possibly a psychiatrist, although I doubt, because if you're a psychiatrist, you're a doctor, so you're a bit smarter than a psychologist. And I don't think an intelligent person would be this dumb, but yeah, look, maybe I'm being arrogant. But either way, they phoned into Crime Watch and said, there's this dude, Michael Stone, and he looks a bit like this E-Fit, and he looks a little bit, like he might do that kind of stuff. He's been known to wield a hammer before and all that stuff. And anyway, so they obviously arrested Michael Stone. Now, I must say at this point, Michael Stone is not a person that I would invite into my house. He's unpleasant, he's dangerous, he's a thief. If he lived in my neighbourhood, there's a good chance he would steal my lawnmower. Okay, he's a scumbag, he's a heroin addict, he's not a good guy. But he ain't a murderer. And this is the problem, you send someone to jail because they're a scumbag, but is it right to do that just because they're a scumbag? No. Do they a murderer? And this was the thing that they said, oh yeah, well he's been a bit violent. He's talked to me in, private consultations, which should be absolutely private, by the way. When you talk to a therapist, that bond is absolute. You cannot break that, and it's very, very wrong for you to. It's a breach of ethics, and the dude that had the nerve to breach that bond, he should be struck off, because that is absolutely a breach of ethics. In the same way as if I go to my lawyer and I say to my lawyer, hey, I did that crime, but we need to get me off. And, if he goes out into the court and says, hey, Benjo did it. No. You don't do that. No, you have a trust there. But anyway, this dude didn't. And so he said, Michael Stone, I think he's capable of it. He's talking to me about attacking people with a hammer. It wasn't even a fucking hammer. It was actually a mallet. Basically, he got into a dispute with a dude over some drugs and he hit him with a mallet. And so you can imagine on the police computer, you type in, violent assault, common assault, whatever the hell the keywords, you type in mallet, blunt trauma. Either way, he appears on the system that he's used some kind of blunt object to inflict damage on somebody. And he gets put in the frame. But the amazing thing is that when you look at the forensic evidence for that case, for the Russell murders, the police combed that. It was 96. They had, DNA. DNA obviously was first, understood in 1953 by, Crick and, Watson, and, we knew about it from then. But forensically, and forensic means using the stuff in court, that began in 86/87, yeah, with the whole Colin Pitchfork thing, those murders in a little village, LSB, Ellingby, wherever the hell the little village was up in the northeast. But this is 96. We have DNA. We haven't got the polymerase chain reaction, we ain't got PCR, but we have DNA. And they found at the scene some bootlaces. And you know what the prosecution said? They said, these bootlaces belong to a drug misuser, such as, our suspect, Michael Stone. He's a heroin user, which he was. And we found these laces. No doubt they were used to lace up, around the arm to get a vein. Yeah, you compress the artery, and the vein fills up, and then you can inject when the vein bulges out. And they said that. They looked at those, and they said as well that when you're using these bootlaces, you don't just tie them with your fingers, you literally grab them in your mouth, apparently. I don't know about that. I've been around some drug users. I'm not sure I think they have different techniques. I don't think you always grab them in your mouth. But anyway, they said you grab them in your mouth, you like kind of bite half of the bootlace and you pull it and you grip it tight, around your elbow, and then your vein bulge out, and then you stick in the needle and all this crap. And there was no trace of his DNA on them. They found like several DNA traces. I don't know how many. It was several, probably more than 3, but not Michael Stone's. Now, is this guy, so allegedly he's confronted them with a car, and he's forced them to go down into this little clearing in the woods. Then he's tied them up with bootlaces. He's chased Josie and smacked her about the head, knocked her down, dragged her back. Yet his DNA isn't anywhere to be seen. Miraculous. He's obviously like a master criminal. He must be like dressed in like a fucking forensic suit. It's absolute crap. They screwed that dude over. Anyway, so how did the dude get ever convicted when it's obviously like a Mickey Mouse conviction? How? Okay, so he went to prison because the psychiatrist / psychologist / retard that has no ethics, and frankly I'd like to fuck him up if I saw him. This dude said, "Oh, Michael Stone was apparently a hammer-wielding maniac, and you should, take him and interview him for this murder." Fair enough. Arrest him. Ask him questions, fine. But either way, he was put on remand outrageously, not dissimilar to Colin Stagg, for the Napa murders, but we're going to that now. But he's Michael Stone put on remand. And then some idiot, literally, because he loves the fact that he can get out of jail for a little bit, whose name I've forgotten, says, "Oh, he confessed to me. He confessed. He told me that he did it." And everything in that prison confession from the snitch, everything was in the local newspaper, which he had access to. And it escapes my mind because I'm stoned at the moment, but the dude that took all that information and the passed on to police said, yeah, Michael Stone, he confessed, he did this, he did that, he tied up the girls and he got horny when he was tying up he said a load of perverted stuff, really like paedophilic stuff. And the funny thing is that dude now is actually he's under lock and key because he turned out to be a murderer, but that's another story. But anyway, yeah, absolutely ridiculous. And it's a warning to us all. He got convicted over that. It went to court, and this little dude that said that, Michael Stone, he told me he murdered the Russells. He hit them with a hammer and he tied them up with towels and he did X, Y, and Z. Everything that the newspapers had said. He said that in court because it got him out, and it got him a lot of KFCs and a lot of McDonald's and a lot of Burger Kings and all the good stuff. absolutely disgraceful. It could happen to any of us. Look, it couldn't happen to any of us because there's a reason why Michael Stone was picked up. He was picked up because he was a burglar. He was a robber. He was a drug misuser. He a witch. I guess I shouldn't be too condemnatory because I'm stoned at the moment, but yeah, he did that stuff. But he shouldn't be convicted of murder when the forensic evidence, he got like 5 DNA samples on those flipping, bootlaces, and none of them matched to him. And why does it matter? Why the hell do we care? Why do we give a fuck about any of that? Why? The reason is because there's someone out there that killed Megan Russell and killed Lynn Russell. And why did they kill them? Did they have jealousy against them? Did they want to rob them? Did they, have, I don't know, racial hatred against them because they're white? Maybe it was a foreigner. No, it was none of that stuff. The reason why that dude on that day killed Megan and Lynn Russell and nearly killed Josie Russell as she barely survived. Why? You answer. I'll tell you why. Because it was fun. And if there's one thing that Pat Brown has ever taught me, the criminal profiler, it's you do it because it's fun. And that was why. Yeah, he might have been pissed off. Maybe he had a bad day. Maybe someone had flipped him off. Maybe he lost his job. Maybe his girl had, refused sex. What the hell? He's in a bad mood. But why does he do that? Why does he drive down Cherry Garden Lane? Why does he kill Megan and Lynn Russell? Because it's fun. That is the reason. You can't look for a more detailed reason than that. He does it because it makes it feel good. And yeah, you can look for deeper psychological reasons, but no, he did it because it was fun. And that is why Pat Brown wrote the book Killing for Sport. Because some people just do it because they enjoy that. And that is why there's no deeper reason. So don't go looking, delving into deep psychological things. No, I got a fucking PhD, but not in psychology. But there's no deeper reason. He did it because it made him feel good. He enjoyed it. It was fun. And is it Levi Bellfield? That's the other question. The problem is Levi Bellfield has a very good alibi. Apparently, the day that it was done... Oh, let me look at my notes, man. Yeah, 9th of July, 1996. Okay, 9th of July, 1996. Apparently, that is the birthday of his partner. Yeah. So his girl's birthday is that day. And apparently that day he didn't leave her alone. But when you look at the post-mortem, which I have, and I've read it, I'm a medical pharmacist, I can read a post-mortem. And when I read it, when you look at what happened to Josie was definitely 100%, okay, and I stake my career on this, that one's stoned. She was hit by a left-handed assailant. Absolutely. Because she runs, the assailant chases her, and she gets hit on the left-hand side of her head. A left-handed assailant definitely hits Josie. And Bellfield is left-handed, but that's only the excluding 2/3 of the population. So, hey, what the fuck? What do I know? But yeah, man, that's my thoughts on that. But I just, and look, having said all that, maybe Michael Stone did do it. It's possible. It's possible. But he'd be out now if he'd admitted it, and he ain't. He's like, I'm not going to admit something I didn't do. He's only in prison today. He's not got parole because he's not admitted that he did it. And he won't admit it that he did it because he didn't do it. And in my belief, and the problem with all this stuff is that there's still the real killer going knocking around, and he's probably done more crimes since. Maybe not so drastic, but he's probably done them. And that is why I don't like when the police fit you up. Yeah. It's crazy, man. Anyway, I'm out.